Welcome to McKeen's Hockey on YouTube. Yes, we are back, and we will be dropping content on a regular basis now until the draft in June. And in today's video, we will be discussing our early top 32 draft rankings for the 2025 NHL Draft class. And if you want to check out the article online, head over to mckeenshockey.com. And please subscribe and smash that like button to let you know of future videos that will drop. All right, starting off at the number one position, and yes, it is James Hagens, the centerman playing at Boston College right now. He has 11 points in 7 games, so not bad to start off. Actually, he started the season pretty slow, but he continues to lead the 2025 NHL Draft class as the top-rated prospect here at McKeen's and could solidify his first overall ranking with a productive season at Boston College. Now, he possesses all the intangibles in a draft-eligible prospect that any NHL team would feel hard-pressed to pass up come draft day. And the other thing that stands out with Hagens is his defensive play. He rarely cheats defensively and is quick to help out on the other side of the blue line to help his team win over puck battles. So yes, James Hagens, he is still number one for our rankings at this point. And number 2 on our list, we have the big winger from the OHL, Porter Martone, who plays for Brampton. And he has 25 points in 11 games as of this recording. And yes, Martone heads into this draft season as a near unanimous top 3 ranked player, thanks to his combination of size, skill, and truculence. Now, what makes Martone so unique is that he provides that physical spark to go with his immense offensive skill and sense. He patterns his game after the Tkachuk brothers, and it's very easy to see how. So Porter Martone, he's number 2. All right. At number 3, we have another OHL player, and that's Michael Misa. And check out these points. 26 points in 13 games. Yes, he is an offensive threat. And the one component of Misa's game that he improved upon a ton as a sophomore was his off-puck play. He doesn't get enough credit for his defensive commitment and effectiveness. He is active in pursuit and has excellent instincts in his own end, showing attention to detail whether he's playing center or on the wing. So number 3, Michael Misa. All right. Number 4, another player from the OHL, and that is defenseman Matthew Schaefer. Now, he did miss the first month of the season due to mono, but he returned in rare form and has 8 points in 7 games as a defenseman, so that's very impressive to start the season off. Now, last year, his offensive numbers weren't that great, but the offensive production will come at the OHL level, likely as early as this season. He's too intelligent not to put up points. The skating ability combined with vision make him a terrific puck mover, and you can see it in these clips right here. Number 4, Matthew Schaefer. All right, moving on. Number 5, we have out of the dub, the WHL, Roger McKeen. Now, another one who has had some injury issues, but started off the season with a bang. 11 points in 8 games, and look at this, 8 goals in those 8 games. So some nice production right off the hop. Now, McKeen plays a big power forward type game and is an equal opportunity shooter and passer in the offensive zone. He's physical in all 3 zones and is not afraid to drop the gloves to stand up for his teammates or himself. His skating is good for his player his size as well. So number 5, Roger McKeen. All right. Number 6, now we're going across the ocean, and that is Anton Frondel. Now, the offensive numbers haven't really been that good to start off the season. He's got 4 points in 6 games, but that should turn around. And those who watched him last year should come as no surprise that Frondel is headlining the Swedish 2025 draft class. A brilliant hockey sense, reads the ice, and anticipates plays almost innately. He's a grandmaster levels of tactical play on display night in and night out. So, Anton Frondel, number 6 on our list. All right, number 7 is the Russian Ivan Ryabkin. And he's another player who had a slow start to the season. He has 8 points in 9 games so far, but definitely has the skill to change that around. So we saw Matvei Michkov and Ivan Demidov during the past 2 years, and if your favorite team missed out on either of those two, you're in luck because Ryabkin is the next installment of an elite Russian forward talent. Ivan is an incredibly smart and talented playmaker. He sees the ice very well, allowing him to plan out his next option before the puck has even reached his blade. So number 7, Ivan Ryabkin. Okay, number 8, we have the teammate of Frondell, Victor Eklund out of Djurgårdens. And he has 13 points in 50 games so far this season, so he's putting up some pretty nice numbers. And much like his older brother, William, who's in San Jose, Victor Eklund is entering his draft year with a solid sample size of pro hockey under his belt and the top prospect status attached to his name from Sweden. So look for him to be a top pick at this draft. All right, so here we have the top 8. We have Hagens at 1, Martone at 2, Misa 3, McQueen 4, Schaefer 5, Anton Frondell at 6, Ivan Ryabkin 7, and Victor Eklund finishing off the top 8. So now let's head into the next 8 grouping. And at number 9, we have Logan Hensler out of Wisconsin. And he has 1.6 games so far this season. Not a big offensive push from him so far. And he's another product of the NTDP program. And offensively, like I said, he was not a big contributor last year either. But there could be another level to achieve playing at Wisconsin. So we hope to see him improve those numbers. And he's a great skater and does have some nice offensive touch. Just needs to learn how to activate more. So number 9, Logan Hensler from Wisconsin. Okay, moving on. At number 11, we have from the Q, Justin Carbonneau. And he has 19 points in 13 games. Playing for Blainville Boisbriand right now. So he's got some nice numbers thus far. Carbonneau is always trying to create something in the offensive zone whenever he gets the puck. He plays with a fast-paced, often controlling the game with his mobility. He is also a crafty playmaker trying to open lanes with his speed and mobility or by beating defenders one-on-one. And now we have number 16 in the next grouping, and that is Malcolm Spence, the big power forward out of Erie in the OHL. And he's putting up some nice numbers so far this season. 14 points in 12 games, which is decent. Spence is best described as a player who people are still waiting to see if he can become the sum of all his parts. His combination of size and explosiveness should make him a dominant player every time he steps on the ice. His first step quickness is so impressive for a power winger. So Malcolm Spence finishes up the next 8 players. And so he's at number 16. So Logan Hensler we have at 9. Lyndon Lakovic, the big forward out of Moose Jaw, is at 10. Justin Carbonneau 11. Caleb Desnoyers, another Q player out of Moncton, is at 12. Cullen Potter, who plays in Arizona State, is at 13. Jackson Smith, the big D out of Tri-City, at 14. Brady Martin at 15 for the Sioux Greyhounds. And Malcolm Spence at number 16. All right, moving on to the next 8 rankings. We have at number 17, a big D who is playing in the Czech League, Radim Mrtka, and he only has 1 point in 10 games, so not really an offensive threat, but more of a big stay-at-home D. He's listed at 6'6", so his height and reach immediately stand out, and he uses these attributes well in both zones. He plays a simple, effective style of hockey and doesn't try to do too much. He's able to contribute in both offensive and defensive zones and likes to join the rush and plays a solid two-way game. So Radim Mrtka, he's number 17 on our rankings. All right, number 18 on the list, we have Cameron Schmidt out of Vancouver in the WHL, and he has 21 points in 13 games so far. Wow, he has just been on fire. Now, the only problem is he's a little smaller forward, listed at 5'7", and he is confident and supremely talented offensive player whose size and defense will determine what round of the draft he gets drafted in. And like I said, he's kind of small for NHL standards, and there will be questions about how much growth is left for him as the draft gets closer. He also needs to dramatically improve his defensive game in order to play at the pro level. So Cameron Schmidt, he's at number 18. All right, moving ahead to number 20, we have the first goaltender on the list. And yes, for the first round, that's Joshua Ravensbergen. And he plays out at Prince George in the Dub. And he currently has a 12-7-1 record, which is not bad. But we're looking for a little bit more from him this season for sure. He was a revelation last year in the WHL. And in his rookie year, he was in the top 10 of WHL for wins, save percentage, goals against average, and led the league with 6 shutouts. Bearing a total collapse of his game, Ravensburgen should be the first WHL goaltender drafted next summer and could be one of the first goaltenders drafted overall. So here we have the list for the next 8, and that's Radim Murka at 17, Cameron Smith 18, Blake Fiddler, the big D out of the Dub at 19, Joshua Ravensburgen, like we said, Cole Reshny at 21, Jake O'Brien 22, Cameron Reed, the defense out of Kitchener at 23, and Adam Benak 24 out of Youngstown in the USHL. Okay, finishing off the top 32 here, we're going to start off with number 26, and that is Will Moore out of the US NTDP. He has 10 points in 14 games so far, so not a big offensive production just yet. But even though Moore seems to be a tad underweight for his size, he still contains a tremendous amount of power and skill. He's a downhill skater, much more north-south rather than east-west, has solid passing and puck handling skills, and has the ability to make passing plays off the wall in almost any area of the ice. So that is it. Let's round up the top 32 here. So we got Kurban Limatov at 25, Will Moore 26, Milton Gastrin 27, Jack Murda 28, Emil Gutte 29, Sasha Boumedian at 30, Luca Romano at 31, and finishing off the top 32 is Jack Nesbitt from the Windsor Spitfires in the OHL. And that is it for our rankings. Can you please subscribe, hit that like button? We'd really appreciate it. And we'll be coming out with some more content soon. Cheers.